Welcome to the Deep Dive, the podcast where we analyze success stories, well, wondering why our coffee still costs $6. Today, we're diving into the story of Ell Rodriguez. She's a woman who absolutely hit the financial jackpot, earning $300,000 a year by age 30, and she did it all without the joy of med school debt or a law degree-induced breakdown. As the child of Mexican immigrants, she proved you don't need a stethoscope or courtroom drama to make bank. All you need is brains, grit, and, probably better timing than the rest of us. Okay, let's dive into this.
Okay, let's start with the big number, $300,000. That's the annual income Ell Rodriguez managed to hit by the time she was 30. Now, that number is, of course, really impressive, but honestly, it's not even the most interesting part of her story. The real magic is how she did it.
So how in the world did she earn that kind of money in a hospital setting without ever setting foot in medical school? Well, it wasn't a lucky stock pick. It wasn't a viral TikTok video. The answer lies in this really strategic plan and some serious discipline, which we can basically break down into three major leaps she took on her life. So, that first leap. Her journey began not with some vague dream, but with a concrete plan. She treated her education like an investment, right? And she was looking for a very, very clear return. Coming from a background where money wasn't just an abstract concept, she knew she had to be smart. So her first move? She chose an affordable university to avoid that soul-crushing student debt right from the start. The whole plan was simple: find a path to a high-paying career that didn't require a mountain of loans.
And this was her secret weapon. She zeroed in on this role, a certified anesthesiologist assistant. It's this super specific, high-demand, and really high-paying job that offered a shortcut, a backdoor, into the lucrative medical field without the 12-year grind of becoming a doctor.
And this right here, this just perfectly illustrates the genius trade-off she made. I mean, just look at the comparison. We're talking about half the time in school for a career with just incredible earning potential right out of the gate. That's not an accident. That is a masterclass in strategic career planning. Okay, so she secured this high-value profession. What's next? Well, her second big leap was all about fundamentally changing how she got paid. Let's see how this builds. Initially, she was just a regular salaried employee. And that scarcity mindset she talks about, that fear of not having enough, it drove her to work all the time. I mean, she was working constant 24-hour shifts. It was pure hustle, and it pushed her income over an already amazing $200,000 a year. But then she made a game-changing shift. She went from being a salaried employee at one place to being an independent contract worker for several hospitals. And check this out. Her income instantly jumped to $300,000 a year, but her hours dropped to a normal 40-hour week. You see, she stopped selling her time and started selling her value. I mean, think about this for a second. If she wanted to, she could go back to working those crazy, grueling hours and probably pull in $500,000 a year. But she actively chooses not to. And that is the whole point. She learned that real wealth isn't just about the number, it's about having the freedom to buy back your life. Okay, so earning a high income is great, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. Her third leap, and honestly this might be the most important one, was about turning that income into true, lasting freedom. And she did that through relentless financial discipline. $124,000. That's how much of her student loan debt she completely annihilated in just 1 year. 1 year. She basically declared war on her debt because she knew every single dollar she paid in interest was a dollar she couldn't use to build her own future. 40%. Just let that sink in for a second. 40% was her pre-tax savings and investment rate. That is an incredibly high number, and it's how you put your wealth building on hyperdrive. It's how you really start to see your money work for you. And the results of all that intense discipline? A $500,000 investment portfolio by the time she was 30. I mean, while most people are just getting their feet wet, she had already built a serious financial fortress for herself. So here's the kicker. How did she do all this? She completely rejected lifestyle inflation. You know that trap where the more you make, the more you spend? No fancy car, she drives a Toyota Corolla. She chooses to rent and live a more nomadic life. Her spending is intentional, focused on experiences and the people she loves, not on status symbols. So Ella's story isn't just cool or inspiring, it's literally a playbook, it's a blueprint. So let's distill this down into 5 key lessons that we can all take away from her journey. First up, lesson 1, plan strategically. You have to think like an investor when it comes to your career. Look for those high-return paths, not just the ones that sound prestigious or the most popular.
Lesson 2 is to redefine what work means. The goal shouldn't just be to sell your time for a paycheck. It should be to sell your value and your expertise. That mental shift from employee to service provider can unlock so much more potential.
All right, lesson 3, master your money. Because earning a lot is totally useless if you just spend it all. It comes down to this: pay off your debt, save like you mean it, and do not fall into the lifestyle inflation trap.
And fourth, you've got to shift your mindset. Money's real purpose is to buy you peace of mind. It's a tool to move away from that fear-based scarcity mindset to a place of peace and choice, moving from I have to work to I get to choose what I work on.
And finally, the 5th lesson: success isn't about what you own. True wealth isn't a dollar amount. It's about having choices. It's about having the freedom to decide how you want to live your life. That is the ultimate prize. In the end, after all the strategic planning, all the hard work, all the discipline, it all comes down to this one simple feeling. This is the ultimate return on her investment. The ability to just breathe.
Behind the scenes, our producer FireflyHaku keeps the show afloat, kind of like the CFO of our chaos. So go ahead and subscribe to the Deep Dive, where we study other people's success and pretend it's motivational, not depressing.